factor here. Cloudy skies and not a full house as you see here at Soldier Field as the Chicago Bears playing their final home game of the year and coming in with a record of 3-11. Jay Gruden, on the other hand, his team has lost 3 out of their last 4 games. And once in command in a playoff berth, now needing help. And, of course, a dismal performance at home on Monday. And John Fox, in his second year as head coach of the Chicagoans, a young team indeed. The Bears won the toss, deferred, and the Redskins will get the ball first and start out at the 25-yard line. So it's strength against strength. Washington, this is what their strength has been. Kirk Cousins has had a good year, but a rough outing on Monday. Still among the league leaders in many categories. And the pride of Barrington, Illinois, playing his 3rd game here at Soldier Field. And a Bear fan as a youngster, not today.
No, not today. He wants to be the one that comes back to his hometown and win a football game and continue with their opportunity to make the playoffs.
Two spot.
First play from scrimmage, and it'll be a handoff to Robert Kelly, and doesn't get much on first down. Not a surprise there. Taking a look at the Redskin offense coming off their worst game of the year, scoring their fewest points, 15 on the season.
And right away up front, you see the 2 Pro Bowlers in Trent Williams and Brandon Sheriff. They have got to do a great job today being efficient on 1st and 2nd down in the run game, because if they're in 3rd and longs like they were in Carolina, these defensive ends, Willie Young and Leonard Floyd, will be able to get after Kirk Cousins.
Bears have been porous against the run. They've given up 155 yards a game in the last 5. In the rushing department, it'll be 2nd down and 9, and Cousins had some time, escapes a pass rush, will run for the first down and slide beyond the 40-yard line. And a first down, they'll mark it actually at the 39, and it was Leonard Floyd, the rookie from Georgia, who missed the tackle.
Well-designed play. You see that it was good coverage downfield, but this is the thing that people don't think about. Kirk Cousins has some athletic ability, and he is able to break one right away with the coverage dropping back for a first down.
13 yards. And they're going to try Kelly again. And this is what you got to do. Even if you don't get yardage, you got to show the run, and that's something the Redskins didn't do last week. Taking a look at the Bears defense, underrated, marked by injuries and player switches, but this team is held fast, and they can be difficult.
Inside linebacker Jarrell Freeman is back today after a 4-game suspension, and they desperately need him back because when he left, the Bears' run defense was 12th in the NFL, only 98 yards a game. But when he returns now, 23rd and 115 yards a game on the ground.
Good they have Willie Young, the 7-year veteran, who is questionable with a knee. And here, 2nd down and 6, good coverage downfield by the Bears defense. And on 2nd and 6, no choice but Cousins throwing the ball away. So the Bears secondary getting the job done.
There's no foul. 3rd down.
And it'll be 3rd down coming up for the Redskins.
Once again, nowhere for Kirk Cousins to go with the football. Try scrambling and escaping, but this time the Bears defense are stout and know that they can't let him release and get the first down with his legs.
Ball is at the 43, and Chris Thompson, a valuable guy as a pass receiver out of the backfield, is now in there now. And of course they're missing Jordan Reed. He's been bothered by the shoulder, ejected from the game Monday night. So a big weapon and tight end unable to go today. 3rd down and 6. And here is Cousins throwing to the outside, incomplete, trying to get it to Jamison Crowder. And so the Bears, after giving up a first down on a run, hold and will get the ball on a punt.
Good start for the Bears defense, getting the Redskins offense to get out and have to force a punt. This is exactly what the Bears defense needed to give confidence to Matt Barkley so he is not playing behind early.
You saw Braylon Addison, who's just been added to the roster as Tress Way, punting to Addison, an undrafted rookie from Oregon, fields it on the 8-yard line and is not going to get past the 10, maybe just by a little bit. And it'll be a first down for the Bears as we send it down to Christina Pink.
Thank you, Dick. Well, quick turnaround for the Redskins, playing Monday and then traveling for a kickoff on Saturday afternoon. That would typically bother most coaches, not Jay Gruden. He was happy about the short week, said his team needed to get back on the field as quick as possible, saying they laid an egg Monday night on offense, defense, and special teams. He said, we still have an opportunity with 2 games on the line, banged up on both sides of the ball, but the guys that are healthy, anxious to play.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. And, of course, it's a double-edged sword here. They physically, mentally down after that game, but they want to get back on the horse again. And here's the horse for the Chicago Bears offense, Jordan Howard, a tremendous rookie out of Indiana, who's the second productive rookie running back in the league. So there is Matt Barkley making his 5th start in succession. And the Bears have liked what they've seen despite the numbers, which have been so-so.
He brought a great comeback in the 4th quarter last week against the Green Bay Packers, but the 3 interceptions and fumble, he cannot have the turnovers today.
2nd down and 7, and here's Howard again, and Howard will be stopped for no gain. So Jordan Howard going over 1,000 yards in his rookie year. You're looking at the Chicago offense, and they're 29th in the league in points scored. And this is where they got to produce against the Redskin defense today.
Yes, they do, and they have to get Alshon Jeffrey going today. They waited to the 4th quarter up against the Packers last week. He is their dynamic playmaker that will open up everything for their offense.
And as you said, this could be his last game ever in the Chicago uniform here at Soldier Field. 3rd down and 7. Matt Barkley getting the rush, gets protection, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Cameron Meredith. And coverage downfield by Greg Toller, who was shaken up against the Panthers and is back in there today. So it's 4th down, and the Redskins could be looking, David, a good field position.
See the rush up front. They only bring 4 and then add on with Mason Foster at the end when they see Jordan Howard picking up and sitting in there as a protector.
Pat O'Donnell kicking from the goal line. Here's Jamison Crowder, calls for the fair catch. And the Redskins will have the ball at about the 35-yard line. And Kirk Cousins will come out for his 2nd foray, leading the Redskins offense when we come back.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
And we are back. It's Christmas season in Chicago, and there's the key inactives, and maybe the biggest one of all, Jordan Reed. And they miss a lot not having him in there.
That really hurts their offense because one of their main formations is a 3 tight end set in a trio.
1st down on the 35. Here is Kelly. Kelly gets hit behind the line of scrimmage. And that's what the Bears are aware of. He can make you miss that first tackler. Picks up just about 5 yards on 1st down. Kelly, last week the rushing, 11 attempts, 18 yards for the 2 running backs, Kelly and Thompson. That just won't get it done.
And you see that he is durable, he is tough, he keeps his leg driving, and he is able to make people miss. But that is something that the Bears defense struggled with all last week. Missed tackles and opportunities for a tackle for a loss to put him behind the chains.
Vic Fangio, their defensive coordinator, said it was the worst game tackling for the Bears all year. 2nd down and 5. Here's Kelly again, bursts up the middle, and will have the 1st down and near midfield. So this is the Robert Kelly who gained 137 against the Green Bay Packers before the Redskins lost 3 out of 4 games, gets 7 yards there.
And that's from the backside. The Bears' backside defensive tackle and ends have to hold up their contain because when you're running that zone, there is no front side.
Cousins looking left, going left, and completing left, and the pass is caught by Pierre Garçon. Garçon, the leading receiver coming into this game for the Redskins. Had a couple of drops against the Panthers, but has been such a reliable receiver for Kirk Cousins.
He definitely has, and you see Kirk Cousins pushing the tempo immediately right now.
16 yards on that play, and the ball at the 36 of Chicago. And open up the middle, and dropping it is Robert Kelly. He was open, might have even gotten the 1st down. For a game break, let's join Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Dick. We head to Carolina. Opening drive of the game, Joshua Perkins, the rookie out of Washington, the recipient of this 26-yard touchdown pass from Matt Ryan. Perkins' first career touchdown. Falcons up 7-0 with a win and a Bucs loss. Atlanta clinches the South. Dick, David, and Christina.
All right, Carissa, they've had a good year all season, so A win and a Tampa Bay loss or tie. The Buccaneers played late. The Falcons are the champions, and they've been playing like that all year. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Thompson is in it, running back right now. Redskins have been plagued by slow starts in their slump. Looking to get ahead. It's been rare for them, and this pass is going to be caught by Deshaun Jackson. Jackson makes the catch at the 15-yard line and a 1st down, coming off his best game of the year against the Panthers, a pickup of 21.
Deshaun Jackson has that playmaking ability, and you see him going up against the Bears' best corner, Tracy Porter, but there is a clear breakdown in coverage. Porter passes it to the inside to Harold Jones-Corte, but he cannot get there quick enough to make the tackle and make a breakup.
7 catches, 111 yards for Deshaun Jackson, and a 1st down at the 15 of the Bears. Kelly back in and getting the call again and picking up 3 yards on 1st down.
What do you see right now out of this offense? What Jay Gruden said they needed to have balance. So a pass, a run. They want to make sure that they get as many possessions and touches in Robert Kelly's hands, because that is when Kirk Cousins is at his best. Dropping back 3-step, 5-step, putting his foot in the ground and running the play action.
Near the bottom of the league in red zone offense, so this is critical for Washington on 2nd down and 7.
In the red zone, they love their pick and rub routes by the receivers.
And they spread it out. 4 wide receivers and the quick one to Jackson. And Jackson is tackled immediately. Good play made by Harold Jones-Corte on the play, limiting Jackson to a pickup of only 3. He'll leave the game, Corte, and Chris Thompson comes in. Redskins looking to take a lead here, and this is going to be a big down here. 3rd down and 2 at the 7. Big early down in this game. And they're going to give it to Thompson. 1st down, touchdown! Chris Thompson up the middle for the score, and the Redskins, something they haven't done in the last 5 games, jump out in front. A 7-yard touchdown run for Chris Thompson. His 3rd touchdown rushing this year, giving Washington the lead.
See, Akeem Hicks jump inside, and he leaves it for Freeman to make the play. Sheriff doesn't even make the block, but Morgan Moses is able to get up to the 2nd level. Leonard Floyd holds on a delay, thinking that they may keep it with Kirk Cousins. Easy touchdown run for Chris Thompson.
And now Dustin Hopkins is on. He has missed 3 point-after touchdowns this year, but this one is perfect, and the Redskins needing the win. 8 yards, 65, plays 65 yards in the 7-yard touchdown.
Is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly.
And the Redskins had good field position and made the most of it. And look at the balance, something the Redskins didn't have on Monday night. So overall thus far, 7 runs and 7 passes. The yardage gained about even. This is what you want.
It most certainly is what you want, because anytime Kirk Cousins is dropping back 47 times, that is not a key to a victory for this Washington Redskins offense.
Deontay Thompson is back deep. And Hopkins kick returnable. And Thompson from the 1. And brings it out to the 15-yard line, where the Bears will go on offense for the 2nd time. And Matt Barkley will bring the club out. So Barkley, this is his 3rd team in the NFL. Eagles, Cardinals, and of course now the Bears. And he wasn't even on the depth chart when the season started, and the injuries to Jay Cutler, Brian Hoyer putting them on injured reserve, and the Bears having to go with Barkley, who has shown some promise. 1st and 10 from the 15, and the quick toss way off the mark, intended for Ben Braunecker, the tight end. Here's the Washington defense. 29th overall, and statistically in the bottom 3rd most categories, David.
And the only Pro Bowler is Ryan Kerrigan, the outside linebacker / defensive end. 11 sacks on the season, which is 5th in the NFL, and he's had 1+ sack in 8 of the last 10 games.
And they are so pleased to get Will Compton back, who was inactive last week, but they'll miss Stuart Cravens, the hybrid linebacker, who's a tremendous force defensively. On 2nd down and 10 with time, the pass incomplete, not even close to Cameron Meredith, who is covered by Bashard Breeland. And a flag is down, our first penalty of the game. Brad Allen is the referee.
There are 2 fouls on the defense on the play. Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face, number 24. That penalty is declined. There's also pass interference, defense number 26. By rule, the ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So Norman and Breeland both commit the foul, and the pass interference, first down at the 30.
Breeland's left hand is all over him, and at the end when he's trying to come back, Meredith, you see the tug of the jersey, easy call.
So while that pass looked to be off the mark, it might not have been if it weren't for the hold. And the handoff to Howard, and he's going to be knocked back and bounces off the defender and was going to lose about 3. He'll lose a lot more now. Good penetration by Chris Baker, number 92 of the Redskins, and it'll be a loss of 8 yards on the play.
What is the one thing that can completely ruin the run game? Allowing defensive tackles to penetrate into the backfield. Chris Baker is absolutely a beast. You see him make a quick inside move and a rip on Ted Larson at that right guard position, but is unable to come up with the tackle. That's where you have to make that play for this defense, and that's why they're ranked 29th in the NFL in run defense.
So now it'll be 2nd down and 18. The ball back on the 22. And Barkley backpedaling. And the ball is knocked down, actually deflected back to Barkley, who knocked it down himself. But the Redskins are putting good pressure on, and Baker actually got a hand on that pass. Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator, in his 2nd season in Washington, and they're showing well thus far.
They are, and they had the first one was a 3-and-out, but what you're really seeing them do is being more stout in the run game, something they haven't been all season, and they know that's a key, because if this Bears offense can get Jordan Howard going, that's how they've had success.
He's the meat and potatoes of this offense, no question about it, David. Jeremy Langford is in the game now as a receiver out of the backfield, and Barkley has some time, and he completes the pass, and it's close to a first down to Deontay Thompson. And I think it will be a first down at the 40-yard line and an 18-yard gain. Good throw that time by Barkley.
Good throw, but it's all set up by the protection from the offensive line. Look at the cup that he's able to sit in and the time that he has in the protection. They go max, they chip, they go through the B gap. Everybody up front on the offensive line finishes their block, and that's what allows this long developing route to make.
In motion is Joshua Bellamy to the right, and on 1st and 10 play action for Barkley, and he completes the pass to Alshon Jeffrey. The first completion and target for Jeffrey today, and a first down in Redskin territory and a pickup of 18. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Dick. We head to Green Bay, not far from you, and they're still hoping to claim that NFC North crown. This helps. Jordy Nelson, 21-yard touchdown from Aaron Rodgers. This team rolls in December. They're up 7-0 early. Dick, David, and Christina.
Well, the Vikings, what a tough time they had on being in that plane till 11 o'clock. They finally got to the hotel after the plane went off the runway in Appleton, Wisconsin.
In 2010, I was stuck there for 3 days because of a snowstorm in the East Coast.
You would have missed the game. First down, Barkley has his target, Daniel Brown, who fumbles. And the question is, did Brown have possession? Fumble recovery by Dante Whitner.
The ruling on the field is a catch with a fumble with recovery by the defense. First down, Washington.
And it looks without question to be a catch and a fumble. And it was Mason Foster who knocked the ball away.
That's coming back. That is a catch. You see his left knee hit the ground. That is a catch.
So he lost the ball after his knee hit it.
The ruling on the field of a fumble with recovery by the defense is under further review. We'll review the play.
Great challenge by John Fox, the head coach, because this is a catch.
As we go to commercial, see for yourself. Knee was down clearly before the ball was jarred loose.
This game is sponsored by Dodge. Domestic, not domesticated.
Back here at Soldier Field, Mike Pereira.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field has been changed. The runner was down by contact and did not fumble. Therefore, it'll be Chicago's ball, 1st and 10 on the 32 on the Washington hash mark.
And Mike, the key is it's not a challenge if they review the challenge or
timeout by Chicago.
Yeah, that's correct. And actually, they had two things to review here, Dick. And by the way, Merry Christmas Eve to both of you. But they had to make sure it was a catch, but you got control, 2 feet, turned up field. So you had the catch element completed, and then the right knee is down before it gets pulled out. So good job of replay getting involved and stopping it and getting it corrected.
And a Merry Christmas to you too, Mike. 10-yard gain for the Bears, and they're in Redskin territory, and a first down at the 32. And the handoff is to Howard, breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and Jordan Howard is going to be written out of bounds after another big gain, and you see why. Next to Ezekiel Elliott, the most prolific rookie rusher in the league this year. 22 yards, and the Bears are in business.
Great job of making Duke Iheanacho miss, who is coming down to slam. He reads it. Boom, just that little move, that subtle movement to the outside, and gets that burst to break that tackle and continue on a unbelievable rookie season that he's having.
Didn't start till the 4th game of the year. Over 1,000 yards. The 8th play of the drive upcoming, a first down at the 10, and here's Howard again. Howard battling his way inside the 5. And a good block there by Charles Leno Jr., the left tackle. Bears offensive line has done a good job this year overall.
They really do, and that's called counter tie because you're pulling the backside tackle to lead the block, and that's something that this Redskins defense has struggled. Not only double teams, but the counter and the pullers.
Gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Well, the Bears had 1st and goal and a chance to lead the Packers late in the game last week. Had to settle for a field goal and lost the game. Here's Barkley with a slant, and the pass is incomplete. And it was intended for Daniel Brown. Will Blackman on the coverage. 3rd down and goal.
Will Blackman is a versatile player, obviously now moving this year full-time to safety, but he's played all the spots on the field, but due to injuries and D'Angelo Hall going out, now he is solidified inside of that free safety.
Jeffrey to the bottom of your picture, defended by Josh Norman. Third down and goal, and Barkley with time and overthrows, going again to the tight end Daniel Brown, but this was well over his head. And 4th down coming up, and the Bears will send their field goal team on.
Once again, great protection by the offensive line, but you see that he's trying to go to Alshon Jeffrey, the big target, going up against Norman. But at the end there, you'll see after the play, they right away went to Jeffrey. He's limping off the field like something's wrong with his knee.
So here is Connor Barth attempting a 22-yard field goal after the Bears had 1st and goal, trying to get Chicago on the scoreboard here. And the kick is blocked. Connor Barth has his short field goal attempt blocked. And it was Preston Smith and Jay Gruden, all smiles as the Redskins will still lead by 7. There it is. Missed field goal, 7-0 still. Redskins leading the Bears 7-0 after Connor Barth's 22-yard field goal was blocked by Preston Smith, and now a first down at the 20 for Washington. Play action. And with time, here's Kelly as a receiver out of the backfield, and he is tackled at the 24, picking up 4.
As a guard, you want to interlock thigh board to the hamstring of the long snapper. You see Ted Larson does not get his foot digged in forward. That way Preston Smith is able to get that push, drop his left leg, Ted Larson, and able to come up with a key block.
And there's an art, I guess, for an offensive lineman to protect on that situation.
There really is. And inside, like I said, at that guard position, you try to interlock and make sure your thigh board jams up against that hamstring of the long snapper.
Second down and 5. Another play action. And the pass is going to be caught by Deshaun Jackson. And here's Jackson with a race into Bears territory. And surprised that the Bears were not able to bring him down sooner. They looked like they had a shot at him, and he turned on the jets and finally pushed out of bounds by Deion Bush after a huge 56-yard gain.
The Bears dial up a blitz, and Jarrell Freeman is unable to get home, but you just see Tracy Porter lose his footing, and he has been struggling all season fighting through a knee injury, and you can see Deshaun Jackson's speed got the best of him on that.
Jackson already with 3 catches for 83 yards. And 4th in the NFL with the big plays on offense. You don't often see Jay Gruden with a smile on his face, but we've seen it in the last few minutes for sure. And a first down on the 18 of the Bears. This time Kelly. And he's hit at the line of scrimmage, picks up maybe a yard and a half. And it was good defensive play by Pernell McPhee. This Bears team young, and they've got a lot of the injuries and switches, but they're building. But the 3 wins just not good enough for the proud franchise. And you look at all of the Redskins who have picked up a lot of yards. Yardage is something the Redskins have been good at all year long, David.
And that's when you see that, it's no coincidence that they're 3rd in total offense in the NFL.
Second down and 9. Cousins, plenty of time, and trying to go to Ryan Grant, and the pass was thrown out of the end zone. Tracy Porter was defending on Grant on the play.
We talked about in the last drive what the Redskins like to do formation-wise. They like to have 2-by-2 sets and have pick and rub routes by their wide receivers, but they also like the double post. But this is the area where they are definitely missing Jordan Reed, who is their #1 target in the red zone.
So Vernon Davis has to shoulder the tight end duties. He's had a pretty good year, but when he's teamed with Reed, that makes the Redskins that much tougher. So it's 3rd down and 9, and here's the pressure coming in on Cousins, and on the screen pass, here's Chris Thompson. First down, touchdown, and Chris Thompson has his 2nd touchdown of the game. First as a runner, and this time as a receiver, 17 yards with under a minute to play, and the Redskins lead it 13-0.
They couldn't have dialed up a screen at a better time. Once again, the Bears blitz. They bring Jarrell Freeman off of the edge. He is completely unblocked, but Kirk Cousins knows what he's doing. He dumps it off on the screen to Chris Thompson. You see right away Spencer Long, the center, and Brandon Sheriff, this right guard Pro Bowler, get out in open space. But what a block by Pierre Garçon on the outside. He is the one who springs that for the touchdown.
How valuable are wide receivers who can block? Dustin Hopkins with the point after, and the Redskins have taken a 14-0 lead. This was the touchdown. So after the block kick, the Redskins score to take a 14-0 lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Well, David Deal, if you're wondering how the Redskins would respond from losing that home game, a critical loss on Monday night, knowing they don't control their own destiny anymore, they have responded for Jay Gruden in an impressive fashion here in the first quarter.
And that's the one thing that Jay Gruden said, is he was so excited to get right back to football on the short week because of how poor they played on Monday Night Football. And even though this isn't a big physical week, going from Monday Night Football to playing on Saturday, he said their mental reps and their practices were absolutely precise and perfect going into this game.
I mean, they really physically beat up after that Monday game, so they needed to get some of that rest. Mentally, they had to be sharp going into this road game. Deontay Thompson. And Thompson, about 5 yards in the end zone. Touchback will take it out on the 20-yard line. A reminder that the Redskins need to win out They need to win today and next week against the Giants at home, but they also need help. A loss by Green Bay or Tampa Bay. Green Bay is winning, by the way, 14-3 in their game. Next week, the Packers play the Lions, and you can't dismiss the Lions in that race either for a possible wild card. So the Redskins really have their work cut out for them. They're thinking of one thing, this game. And they're up 14-0. First down at the 25, and the pitch to Howard. And here's Jordan Howard, first down. And Howard tackled from behind and a gain of 16 with a penalty marker down.
Holding, offense, number 14. 10-yard penalty.
And that will nullify a 16-yard gain with the penalty against Thompson. And for a game break, and talking about Green Bay as we were, here is Carissa Thompson.
Yeah, Dick, you're just mentioning all those playoff scenarios. Well, Redskins fans don't want to see good Packers plays. Here's another one. Aaron Rodgers, 20-yard touchdown pass to Devontae Adams. Nice birthday present for him. He turns 24 today. Packers up 14-3. Dick?
They are on a roll. Packers.
Aaron Rodgers, R-E-L-A-X, relax. We know that he said it before, and now he's and this offense are really coming to form.
First down and 5 from the 30-yard line. The play action and Barkley's pass, and it is caught. Good catch made into Redskin territory by Cameron Meredith, the Bears' leading receiver. And that could very well be the last play of this first quarter, a pickup of 21. So Barkley now 4 of 9 for 67. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Redskins leading 14-0. We'll return to Chicago after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Well, today we're looking at two of the oldest franchises in the NFL. Their first meeting was in 1932. Now, the Redskins have won the last 6 meetings, including the postseason, and they lead the all-time series 25-23. And one. Look at that 73-0 game. Everyone remembers that 1940 NFL championship rout.
I was just going to ask you, do you remember that one, Dick?
Reading about it. Matt Barkley going deep in a crowd, and the pass is intercepted. Bashaud Breeland picks it off, and there were 3 defenders as Ian Ancho and Breeland and Norman were all there. And Joshua Bellamy was the receiver in a sea of white shirts.
And this is exactly what Matt Barkley could not do coming into this football game. Through 3 last week. There is triple coverage downfield on Joshua Bellamy. This is one that you have to go back down to your progressions, either dump it off or throw the ball out of bounds.
So Breeland, who's one of the few bright spots in last week's loss to Carolina on Monday, second interception of the season. So now the Redskins will get it back at the 20-yard line on the touchback. Coming into the game, the Redskins had 8 interceptions by 8 different defenders. This is the first player on the team to have more than 1 interception. And, of course, as you know, they review all turnovers, and they're doing that now, and we will take a break as well.
This game is sponsored by Chevrolet. More 2016 J.D. Power Dependability Awards than any other brand.
Question was, following the interception, is where would the ball be placed?
After reviewing the play, there was an interception. However, the defender was down at the 1-yard line when Chicago's number 11 contacted his helmet. He's down by contact at the 1. First down from there for Washington.
So the question is, does the momentum bring him into the end zone for the touchback or not? And we heard the explanation from Brad Allen. Dante Whitner, Josh Norman, and Bashaud Breeland. Breeland with the interception. Well, what a difference.
Big difference. Now they have the coming out where you know that you're running inside zones to the tackles in between the guard and the tackle. You just want to punch it out. Or quarterback sneak.
They raced out of that huddle to the line of scrimmage. First down on the 1-yard line, and here is Kelly. And Kelly will pick up 3 hard-earned yards before Willie Young grabs him. And it'll be second down. We're in the second quarter, and here at Soldier Field, Dick Stockton along with David Deal and Christina Pink. Spencer Long is shaken up, the Redskins center. They've done a tremendous job when Corey Lichtensteiger was hurt earlier in the year. And John Sullivan, who came in for Long, last time Long was shaken up, is going to come in the game. And he's a veteran from the Minnesota Vikings, has been there before. And so, tell you what, it's so interesting late in the year. We've been talking about teams that the attrition, the injuries. Matthew Stafford's had a problem with his hand. Certain teams like the Vikings have been decimated. Other teams get stronger like Green Bay, and Washington trying to hang in there now. And
you look at the Chicago Bears. They've got 19 players on injured reserve. Their quarterback wasn't even on the roster in preseason, and their starting running back was third on the depth chart. So you could really see how it has hurt the Chicago Bears and how it has hurt the Washington Redskins.
Second down and 7, so the veteran John Sullivan is now at center for Washington. Cousins throwing from the end zone, and the pass is going to be caught by Garcon. And Garcon gets the Redskins out of trouble and a first down at the 29-yard line. So a 25-yard play. And Cousins looks like he's really upped his game from Monday night as well, and the others too.
And it all starts with balance. When they have 9 passes or 9 rushes to now 11 passes, it allows Kirk Cousins to relax and be comfortable. And that's what you see out of Pierre Garcon, a precision route runner going up a veteran Tracy Porter, winning that battle.
And a first down. Starting from the 1, and here is Kelly off the right side. Kelly tough to bring down. And he picks out about 5 yards on first down. Let's send it down to Christina Pink. Christina.
Hey, speaking of all the injuries, we know tight end Jordan Reed not suiting up for the Redskins. He hasn't looked like himself since suffering that shoulder sprain. Talking to him before the game, affecting him on yards after the catch, but he also told me it affects him at the line of scrimmage. He said, I can't get guys' hands off me. You can see it in the running game, not as effective as a blocker, but he's consulted with doctors and said the only thing that'll help it is time.
Well, since that injury against Dallas, had only 2 catches for 16 yards. So that definitely affected him. And here is Thompson, who has scored 2 touchdowns in the game, and will bring up third down and short for Washington as Akeem Hicks comes in to make the play. Boy, Hicks has been a pretty good find, former Patriot and Saint. They gave up on him in New Orleans and played well for the Patriots down the stretch last year. They didn't sign him either. He has started every game for the Bears.
And he is a legit interior pass rush threat. 7 sacks on the season because of his quickness and his ability to work edges on guards.
You talked about balance. 11 passes, 11 throws with third down and 2 here. Cousins with time, and he's going deep, and the pass is going to be caught. Pierre Garcon had beaten the defender downfield, and he has been a tremendous target, as has Deshaun Jackson earlier, and a pickup of 47 yards. Once again being chased by Tracy Porter.
And Kirk Cousins right away is pushing the tempo. They're going right away to the line of scrimmage to run their next play. Protection. They're giving Kirk Cousins time. They have a balance of running the football, making linebackers, making them step up and play. But you can clearly see that Tracy Porter's knee is hurting him today.
171 yards already for Garcon and Jackson, the 2 receivers. First down, and here is Kelly. And Kelly picks up about 3 yards, maybe 4. Christina Pink with more.
Well, guys, speaking of all the injuries that the Bears have suffered affecting them in their pass defense, safety Dion Bush is questionable to return. He suffered an ankle injury, but, guys, he is still on the Bears bench.
All right, thank you, Christina. 4th-round pick out of Miami. And as David had mentioned, 19 players now on injured reserve for the Chicago Bears. Eddie Royal, their punt returner, went on earlier in the week. Being chased back, Cousins in trouble. And throws it away. Well, we can't show you all 19. We don't have the time, but we can show you 11 of the 19 players on injured reserve here.
And I'll never forget my rookie year, 2003. We had 22 guys on injured reserve. Before the game, I was stretching, doing the lower back. I turned to my left. I had no idea who the player was next to me suited up. He signed on Saturday and was starting on special teams on Sunday. We were all joking around, is this suit up a fan day?
Did you put out your hand and say, nice to meet you?
Yeah, of course I did, because I had to figure out who he was.
3rd down and 7. And Cousins, he's got it to Deshaun Jackson, and he is tackled quickly by Jarrell Freeman. Coming off 4-game suspension is Freeman, and despite missing the 4 games, still leading the Bears in tackles.
And before that, he barely ever left the field. He's the one who makes all the calls defensively. So it is very important that they have him back for this game and for the last game of the season next week.
So it's 4th down, and Dustin Hopkins will come on to attempt a field goal. This will be a 29-yard attempt. He has missed 7, and the biggest miss, I guess, was the miss against the Cincinnati Bengals in overtime in London. That game ended up to be a tie. And the extra point is, or the field goal is good. 29-yarder by Hopkins. And the Redskins have stretched their lead to 17-0 over the Bears, still early in the second quarter. That's mistletoe. There's going to be a fight for that thing. I'll tell you that. Not for him, not for Santa Claus. So a 29-yard field goal, and the big play during that drive was the 46-yard pass from Cousins to Pierre Garçon. Deontay Thompson. And he will let that sail out of the end zone, and the Bears once again will start from the 25. Small screen, stadium-sized content. Watch live local Sunday games on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. Before the Redskins dropped 3 out of 4 games, they had soundly trounced the Green Bay Packers, who turned their season around. There you see Garçon, who has caught 3 passes for 87 yards. Deshaun Jackson, 4 grabs for 85. So they have been tremendous thus far. Here is Howard on 1st and 10, and he picks up about 3. The Bears had a chance to score. A 22-yard field goal was blocked. Otherwise, a punt and a turnover in the first 3 possessions for John Fox's crew.
Well, starting off with this drive, getting a 3-yard gain right away so that they continue to move forward and stay efficient on 1st and 2nd down so that they don't get one-dimensional and force Matt Barkley to beat him with their arm.
And there's a pass nearly picked off. They tried to get to Alshon Jeffrey, but Josh Norman, a physical corner, to say the least, is saying, that's how close I came, this close for picking it off.
In this season, he only has 1 interception, and it not only is a product of them not throwing the football to him, but he's also dropped 4 easy interceptions that he should have had.
3rd down and 7. This time Thompson and Meredith are wide. You see them, tandems to the right. Now Meredith moves. Breland defending against him in the slot. 3rd down and 7, Barkley. And the pass is going to be caught. And Norman said did not have possession. Alshon Jeffrey, and it looks like a catch from here, and a 1st down for the Bears at the 37.
Well, Norman may have gotten a breakup on the smoke screen, but this is a catch. Gets it the big range and radius by Alshon Jeffrey. You see him juggling the football, but he's able to hold it down at the end.
Well, no challenge there. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 37, and here is Jordan Howard with a burst and a 1st down at midfield, and a flag goes down, and I wonder whether a horse collar might have been committed against the Redskin defender. It was Duke Iheanacho who made the play. 13-yard run.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, horse collar tackle, number 29 on the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic. first down.
So they'll tack it on. Play made in midfield, and they get more.
Great blocking by the right side by Ted Larson and Bobby Massey. They're the ones that get these things going. They seal it. You see the double team between the tight end and the tackle getting up to the second level, and that is what springs Jordan Howard with a huge hole that I think you could have ran through, Dick Stockton.
Don't exaggerate here. With my speed, first down at the 35, and here is Howard again. And so here are the Bears who are running the ball even though they're down 17-0 because that's their meat and potatoes.
And we talked about having an unbelievable rookie season, getting drafted by Indiana. It started off as their third running back and able to have over 1,000 yards. And look at those names.
But you know, you don't see Gale Sayers or Walter Payton, which is really strange when you look at that graphic.
I think they made up for it in their career, though.
Yeah, I think so. Second down and 7. And once again, Howard off the left side. And the tackle made by Mason Foster. Boy, having Foster and Compton in there are huge. They are the two leading tacklers for the Redskins this year, and they stop Howard for a loss of 1.
And they weren't sure if Will Compton would have been able to go today, so they are very fortunate that he is out on the field because he runs the entire defense. He is the only player out on the field in the front 7 that has been out every down on the field.
Third down and 8, and Jeremy Langford checks in for the Bears. On a passing situation for sure. Barkley stepping up and drills it, and the pass is going to be caught by Meredith. Cameron Meredith holding onto the ball, getting down to the goal line. Not in, but very close. And it was Toller who stopped him. 32 yards. It'll be first and goal for the Bears.
This Bears offensive line have been doing an unbelievable job of giving protection. You see Langford jumping in and adding on with the twist and the stunt that they had up front to give Barkley enough time to deliver it to Cameron Meredith, who is continuing to get better and better as a route runner and as a wide receiver because he has gotten the opportunity with Kevin White out this season.
He's their leading receiver, and they've allowed only 3 sacks in 4 games for Barkley. And here's the handoff, and Jeremy Langford pushing in. Touchdown! High fives on Christmas Eve for the fans here at Soldier Field as the Bears, as they've done so much this year, undaunted when they're down by several scores, coming back and getting a touchdown, trying to get them back in this game.
And that's pure determination and grit. As an offensive line, you may get a stalemate as a player, but what do you always say? You want to score with your defender. You want to make sure you press and get his feet and his heels across the goal line.
And before they get the kickoff, they're going to check to see whether the ball did cross the plane. It is a touchdown. And here it's Connor Barth. And the kick is good. Cameron Meredith, 32 yards, setting up the touchdown. And the Bears back in it, now trail 17-7. The big play was the pass to Meredith, but Langford with his 3rd touchdown of the season rushing on an 8-play, 75-yard drive. And the Bears, remember, they were down 27-10 to the Packers in the 4th quarter last week, and they were in position to really take the lead with less than 2 minutes to play. A penalty hurt them, had to settle for a field goal, and Aaron Rodgers took over from there and the winning field goal by the Pack. 6:20 to go in the half. And Chris Thompson, Rashad Breeland is returning this kick. And Breeland already with an interception, and a flag is down back at the 20-yard line. Brad Allen. Looks like he's got a lot of layers underneath that jersey.
During the return, illegal blocking the back, number 52, the return team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
So the penalty against the Redskins, Garvin. Well, the highly anticipated new FX Original Series Taboo is set in 1814 and stars Tom Hardy is a rogue adventurer who plays a dangerous game between Britain and America. Taboo premieres Tuesday, January 10th, only on FX.
Well, with no Jordan Reed, they just brought in Ty Nseki as a jumbo tight end.
And Spencer Long is back in at center. He was injured before, and we have a flag.
Illegal substitution, 12 players on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
So the penalty on the return, half the distance, and now half the distance on this penalty. And Jay Gruden's Redskins, once again starting from deep in their own zone as they did the last time they had the ball. Remember, Cousins had to start from the 1, and they got a field goal out of it.
Once again going jumbo with Ty Nseki, number 79, in as the tight end.
This time the ball is on the, it's like the 4.
Number 79 is eligible. 79 is eligible.
Play fake. Cousins going deep for Deshaun Jackson and overthrows it. For a game break, let's check in now with Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
Speaking of long connections, Sam Bradford hooking up with Adam Thielen. 71 yards. He goes in for the easy touchdown. That was right after Jordy Nelson's second score of the game for the Packers. Green Bay still on top, though, right now, 21-13, late in the second quarter. Dick, David, and Christina.
And that game is closely watched by Redskin fans. The Vikings will be eliminated with a loss, but you know the Redskins would love to see Green Bay lose this game, and the Vikings come back and win. Here is Kelly, and Kelly pushes the pile out toward the 9-yard line with under 6 minutes to go in the first half as we send it down to Christina Pink.
Dick, as you noted, Redskins center Spencer Long is back out there, but during the last series, he was really testing out that ankle here on the sideline, his left ankle. He has some tape on it. Also, for the Bears defense, linebacker Leonard Floyd is in the concussion protocol.
All right, Christina, thanks for the update. Long has played very well at center for Washington this year. And there is Jarrell Freeman, who already has contributed with a big play. 3rd down and 10 for Cousins. Backed up. Cousins again drills it, and wide open is Deshaun Jackson. And Jackson goes down at the 39-yard line. He couldn't be more wide open, a 30-yard play. And Jackson and Garcon having great first halves as receivers for the Redskins.
Good protection. The Bears only rush forward and drop into coverage. But you really see Deshaun Jackson just breaking out. There's so much cushion, and Tracy Porter thinks he's passing it off to the interior linebacker, but there's nobody there. Complete breakdown in coverage again.
His 3rd consecutive 100-yard game for Deshaun Jackson, and a first down at the 38 for Washington. And here is Kelly hemmed in trouble, and he still got a couple of yards back, and it took about 3 or 4 Bears to set him down. Good penetration by McPhee. So Jackson with 5 catches already and 115 yards here in the second quarter.
And this is his 3rd straight 100-yard game. He's never had that in his career, which is very surprising.
Well, the Redskins have been able to get out of trouble when they're locked into their own zone. Cousins has found the receivers for huge gains, but he's chalked up the yards for sure this year as a quarterback. 2nd down and 12. Again with time, goes underneath to Kelly, who's dropped immediately by Freeman. So Freeman makes the play. The Bears defense, underrated for sure. Middle of the pack in defensive scoring. And if that offense can somehow come alive, and quarterback is going to be a key position moving forward, they could have something together. Once again, you see the balance by the Redskins offense. 3rd down and 11. Cousins gets hit as he throws, and it's deep and overthrown. And Jackson, and a flag down.
Pass interference, defense number 21. By rule, the ball is placed at the spot of the foul.
Tracy
Automatic.
Porter
First down.
called for pass interference. Would have been a good stop by the Bears. Once again, Freeman put pressure on Cousins here.
Tracy Porter, you can really see, is hampered by that knee that he's been fighting with all season. See him dropping back, flip his hips, but at the end you see that fall and the grab. That's where they get him. They think that he reached out and grabbed the jersey, but personally, it didn't affect and make Deshaun Jackson reroute his anything.
Yeah, I agree with you. Almost looked incidental. First down, and here's Kelly storming up the middle. And Kelly gets beyond the 30-yard line. Or inside to the 29. So Porter, who won the Good Guy Award for given to the Bears for his great cooperation, congeniality this season, has had to have his knee drained to suit up to start every game. Second down and 4. On the 29 of Chicago. Here's Kelly. He's got the first down. Robert Kelly. So the balance, which was missing Monday night in the loss to Carolina at home, Jay Gruden has solved that problem, and the Bears are having to defend against a good balanced offense by Washington.
That time they ran counter tango, so what they're doing is they're running a delayed, having the halfback Robert Kelly step away and letting their pulling guards and pulling tackles open up the holes for him.
2-minute warning here at Soldier Field in Chicago. 17-7, the Redskins leading the Bears. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all of you watching today's Redskins-Bears game. 2-minute warning. Each team has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. It's a 1st and 10 for the Redskins on the Bear 24. Handoff is to Kelly. Breaks a tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and gets inside the 10, where it'll be 1st and goal. Kelly holding onto his leg and slow getting up, so Kelly may be shaken up for Washington. 16-yard gain and got up and then goes back down again. And this is a tough blow for the Redskins. We're going to take a break and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Back here at Soldier Field, and now they're helping Robert Kelly up and leaving the game here ever since taking over for Matt Jones as the primary running back. After the loss to the Detroit Lions, Kelly became the running back, and he has delivered 6 touchdowns rushing, 1 as a receiver, leaves the game. Chris Thompson replaces him.
They're doing a nice job offensively changing up the running game. Not only are they running inside zone like they just had on that play with Robert Kelly, they're running power, pulling guards, they're pulling backside tackles and guards with counter, holding those linebackers in position and letting the guards and the tackles set up their blocks. 1st and goal at the 9. 17 rushes, 17 passes. Can't get any more balance than that. And here is Cousins. Cousins turning the corner, and Cousins close to the goal line. And a touchdown. Kirk Cousins getting the touchdown, and he points to Brandon Sheriff, his Pro Bowl right guard, and getting up is Pernell McPhee, who is chasing Cousins. And it was McPhee who missed the tackle on Cousins, who scores on a 9-yard run. Let's see if he got in. Touchdown.
Yes, it is. He knew where the pylon was. Knew exactly where he was.
And that exact same play was the touchdown scored by Chris Thompson. He handed it off to Chris Thompson. Right. Thompson scored. This time he holds on to it and runs with it.
That's Cousins' 3rd touchdown rushing of the season. And McPhee, who lost in the foot race to Cousins, helped off the field with an injury. Yet another Bear going down. And now Dustin Hopkins for the extra point with 1:41 remaining in the first half. And the kick is good, and it's now 24-7 Washington. They went 91 yards. Bad field position is not deterred the Redskins today. We'll be back in 30 seconds. The Redskins have scored on their last 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns and a field goal after punting the first time they had the ball.
And the first touchdown to Chris Thompson, you're going to watch, they're forcing the defensive end. Leonard Floyd held, they handed it off to Thompson. Thompson ran it in. And this time you see McPhee break down, fold inside, and sure enough, Cousins keeps it, scores the touchdown.
So there is McPhee being surrounded by teammates. Green Bay is leading their game against Minnesota 21-13 in the final half minute of the first half of their game at Lambeau Field. There's Deontay Thompson back. And the Bears will take it out at the 25. Well, halftime is coming up pretty shortly. Wonder what Kurt Menefee has in store for us.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, an upset of the Patriots is on the Jets' Christmas wish list. The Jaguars try to dash the Titans' playoff hopes, and the Dolphins look to wrap up a win in Buffalo. So get the milk and cookies ready for Santa, and make sure you join us on the Visa halftime.
Kurt, you're not allowed to have cookies. Pass them on down here. Let me give them chocolate chips.
That's what a coach does. He gets those chocolate chip cookies away. The injured player Terrence Garvin now walking back to the sideline. You wouldn't take a guy's cookies like that, would you?
No.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, I would.
I thought so.
You know, those guys have a lot of fun in the studio.
John Fox not having a lot of fun today as the Bears in their final home game played so many tight games. 7 games decided by 6 or fewer points, but they lost 6 of them. Couldn't finish. Now they're just trying to get back in it in the late stages of the second quarter, and Matt Barkley completes the pass to Cameron Meredith, and Meredith a yard short of the first down. Bears have all 3 timeouts left. Langford is the running back, and he gets the handoff, and he'll get the first down as well out to the 37. 3-yard pickup by Jeremy Langford. Not wasting much time with the Bears here with under a minute now remaining in the first half. Barkley in trouble, and down he goes. Preston Smith, who blocked a field goal earlier, now gets a sack. And that's the 23rd consecutive regular season game the Redskin defense has had a sack, and a flag goes down as well. So we'll check this one out.
Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face, number 54 defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic. First down.
So that one's on Mason Foster. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson real quick.
Thanks, Dick. Atlanta up 13-3 when Matt Ryan finds DJ Tialavea. A great Christmas story from you. He was just called up from the practice squad. First career catch, first career touchdown. Falcons up 20-3. Dick?
All right, and that could very well end if it stays that way. The Panthers, defending NFC champion playoff hopes. 1st and 5 here, and Barkley is going to go deep to Alshon Jeffrey, and Jeffrey makes the play. Great catch by Jeffrey. The back shoulder play again, and it's going to be a first down deep in Washington territory. And a timeout called by the Bears, I believe.
First timeout.
This time protection holds up. Matt Barkley puts it exactly where it needs to be, outside to where only Alshon Jeffrey can go up and get it. Once again, just showing his size and his range, how athletic he is to be able to go get it up at the highest point, hold on, maintain control, and come down with a great catch on one of the premier corners in the NFL.
He couldn't play it any better, Norman. Didn't look like he could.
No, he couldn't, but it's a great catch and a great throw by the quarterback.
So timeout called by the Bears, and it'll be a first down on the Redskin 21. So Alshon Jeffrey, who returned after a 4-game suspension last week, was shut out until he made 6 catches in the fourth quarter.
And that's where his size advantage comes into play, because he could just shield Josh Norman on the inside.
Hey, Ryan, Ted.
First and 10 with 41 seconds left and 2 timeouts on the board for the Bears. Barkley getting some pressure, going to the end zone, caught, touchdown, Meredith. What a well-executed play by Barkley and Meredith, and the Bears get the touchdown. 21-yard play. Whatever happens, David Deal, this team just doesn't go away.
No, they don't. And great combination route by the offensive coordinator, Bill Loggins. He sets this up perfectly.
And Connor Barth. So Barkley, and you can see flashes about why you've got to put him in the mix for quarterbacking this Bears team in the future. And there are a lot of things that could happen in the offseason. But Barkley has to be in the mix, and the extra point by Barth is good. And with 34 seconds remaining, another touchdown.
Bellamy and Meredith, you see that they have the deep pick. They slide, unable to pass it off on the defensive side of the ball. Once again, what a perfect throw by Matt Barkley to the back pylon, exactly where it needs to be, and Meredith coming up with a nice touchdown.
4th touchdown grab of the year, came in leading the team. And you got to love Matt Barkley's spirit. He said, you know, I love the no huddle, went to USC. He has a certain fight to him, doesn't he?
He sure does. And then he talked about being in Chip Kelly's system, running the no huddle, and how much that has helped him continue to advance in his career and as a football player.
So it's 24-14, 34 seconds remaining in the half. And the Redskins will receive the kickoff, and they have 2 timeouts remaining. So you're getting a glimpse of some of the players that figure in the Bears' future here. Chris Thompson is back deep for Washington. It went 75 yards to the Bears in a little over a minute. There's Thompson, who's scored 2 touchdowns for the Redskins today. And he'll down it for the touchback and take it out at the 25. So Matt Barkley, high school recruit, the #1 target in the country, 4th round pick by the Eagles in 13, traded to the Cardinals, and you just never give up, and found himself, after being released by Arizona, signing with the Bears in 2016. This is his 5th consecutive start. Made his debut in week 7.
And when we spoke to him, he said, I never thought that this would be the path that I had to take to the NFL.
And they're going to take a knee and run out the clock, will the Redskins, who jumped on top for a rare fashion after falling behind in recent games. They've lost 3 out of their last 4, but will take a 10-point lead into the locker room. It's halftime with the score. The Redskins 24 and the Bears 14. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report coming up after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. First half moments are brought to you by Febreze. And that was first half moments brought to you by Febreze. Getting set for the 3rd quarter with the Redskins leading the Bears 24-14. And David, The Bears were trailing 17-0, and they have scored 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, and they will get the ball first to start the second half.
And in the second quarter, it was Jordan Howard running the football effectively, but more than anything, it was Matt Barkley not making the poor decisions like he made in the first quarter where he threw the interception into triple coverage. You see him settling down, getting the protection by his offensive line up front, and more than anything, going through his progressions and spreading the football around, and that's why they've had the success, and that's why they've brought themselves back into this football game.
And I thought it was significant that instead of, having to settle for the field goal, they actually got the touchdown. They went for the big play, which brought them closer. But we'll see what happens, and we'll see how the Redskin defense responds as the Bears will start from the 25 as we send it down to Christina Pink.
Thank you, Dick. Well, Jay Gruden finally achieved the balance he was looking for on offense. Happy with the ground game. Told me we need to pop off some more runs in the second half. He also told me that Fat Rob Kelly, their running back, who went back to the locker room early with the knee injury, he told me that he believes that Kelly is okay defensively. He said we have to do a better job tackling and staying in our lanes. Also, updates on the Bears defense. Leonard Floyd has been ruled out. Deion Bush doubtful with an ankle injury, and Pernell McPhee is questionable.
Boy, tell you, attrition on the defensive side for the Bears, who start from the 25. First down, and here is Howard. Howard turns his way up for a 3-yard gain on first down. And Howard is slowly getting up and shaken. I tell you, some of the stars, Kelly, the top running back for the Redskins, was hurt. And we just heard from Christina, could be all right, but now Howard goes down, and that's really critical. He has 56 yards in 10 carries, averaging over 5.5 yards per carry. And Langford, who has a touchdown, would be the understudy here.
He gets hit by Dante Whitner, and you could really see right away him go down, his head and his neck snap back. Whitner, 39, coming downhill. There's a hit right there with his right shoulder.
5th round draft pick out of Indiana, and walking off under his own will here. Langford will replace him in the backfield. Again, those are Howard's numbers, and you talked about him, and he is really the keynote speaker for the Bears offense. And out right now, there's Whitner, who provided the impact. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Barkley 9 of 16 for 175 yards, and there is Langford, and Langford picks up maybe a yard before Will Compton brings him down. So it'll be 3rd down and about 7.
Once again, going counter tie, they're going to pull their left tackle, Charles Leno. But the problem is when you pull and you're on a linebacker, you have got to get your hat on the outside framework of that linebacker. He gets it on the inside. Linebacker is able to spill it right off and make the tackle.
Meredith and Jeffrey line up to the left. Meredith moves into the slot, and on passes caught by Meredith, he'll have the first down. And Cameron Meredith, who came in leading with 53 catches.
And here's Matt Barkley's second quarter. You really saw him settle down, get comfortable with the pocket in front of him, his offensive line protecting. But look at him spread the ball and get it to his main playmakers, Alshon Jeffrey and Cameron Meredith.
This last play, Meredith got 11 yards and a first down to the 39. So after the slow start with the pick, look what Barkley has done since. Play action to Langford, avoiding and trying to avoid her, unable to get away from Preston Smith, who's had a tremendous game for the Redskins thus far. A couple of big plays at the line and blocking a field goal try, and a loss of 5 here.
That time they're trying to use their tight end right here one-on-one. They're trying to put Daniel Brown to come back and block back on Smith. But once again, it's all about how you do it. You go flat into the line of scrimmage, because that way you force the defensive end upfield. If you get upfield, you're giving him a clear lane inside to sack the quarterback.
Boy, he threw off the blocker like a rag doll there. Got to the quarterback. Preston Smith, who has 4 sacks coming into this game, and an interception for Washington. So that's what Barkley has had to face from the Redskins defense. In the hurries, they could force you into an interception, and we saw one. Here's Barkley, plenty of time there, and the pass is caught by Alshon Jeffrey, just about a yard shy of the first down. 14-yard pickup with Norman right there.
Matt Barkley continuing to make progress in this football game. He's throwing the football with a lot of confidence. Obviously, like we said, better decisions. You can't throw into triple coverage, but you really see him settling down, going through his progressions, and getting the football out quickly and accurately.
Barkley over 200 yards, or at 200 at this point. 3rd down and 1. Thompson in motion, and the handoff is to Langford. No gain on the play. So on 3rd down and 1, they don't make it, and good penetration there by Chris Baker. So the Bears don't make the first down and have to punt. Pat O'Donnell in to kick, and Jamison Crowder, who has a punt return for a touchdown early this year, and the fake, and a first down. They've got it. So a fake gets it done, and now tempers flare.
The direct snap to Chris Brzezinski.
Brzezinski, a safety, number 31. And the Bears have the first down. Well, you're not going to be in the playoffs. And look, Matt Barkley says, now Loggins, great call. You're 3-11. Why not?
You've got nothing to lose, and this is their opportunity not only to continue to get reps as a football team, but when adversity hits as a football team, you see the true character of football players. After this season, there is going to be change, and either you are going to be a part of the solution or you're part of the problem, and you're going to be on your way out.
Yeah, this is a team in flux. Got some good young players there. There is Langford on the run, and Langford with a good charge of 4 or 5 yards. How was he able to keep? Well, I guess his legs never stopped churning.
You hear all the Bears fans clapping and getting loud, and they should be, because their team are fighting right now. They are fighting to win this football game and to close out the season with pride the right way.
Well, they led in the 4th quarter against the Lions and ended up losing that game. They came back against Tennessee, and Jordan Howard is back in. That's the best news of all for the Bears. After coming off with an injury a few moments ago, back in there now. He's gained 58 yards so far today. It'll be 2nd down and 6. And Barkley, and on the screen pass, he's got Howard. Howard looking for running room, trying to spin his way.
It's coming
and
back.
The flag is down.
They're going to get Josh Sitton, the left guard, with a hold.
Former Packer will stop what would have been a 1-yard gain and put the Bears back in their own territory.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
This is a big emphasis on screens. Obviously, you want to get your player down, but you can't grab him. You're going to see him here at left guard. He's going to get the defender down. He's going to snatch him, but you have to make sure that you get your hands behind and on his back on the shoulder pads. You can't get your hands on the jersey and tug him and pull him.
Ziggy Hood, the Redskins nose tackle. Couldn't be denied there. So it's 2nd down and 16 back on the Bears 44. Pressure coming in, and Barkley fires it up, and the pass is intercepted. It's picked off, and now they say it's an incompleted pass, I think.
Charles Leno.
It will be a completed pass. It's an interception. Yes.
It's an interception. Went down by contact.
Josh Norman.
1st down.
And you wonder whether Barkley should have thrown the ball.
Preston Smith is getting now the best of Charles Leno, because Charles Leno's hands and feet are not tied together.
Boy, Preston Smith, the star of the Redskins defense, forced Barkley to throw the pick.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
And they're reviewing the turnover. Is this an interception by Josh Norman or not? And is it enough here to overturn the call? It's awfully close, but do you overturn the initial call of an interception?
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It is an interception. First down, Washington.
So Josh Norman with the interception, but the pressure set the whole thing up.
Pressure comes from the left tackle, Charles Leno. He tries to flat set him, but you have to get back on this angle. You see he drops his outside foot after the second kick. You have to get back on your third kick and make sure you beat him to the intersection point. That time Preston Smith is able to rip through the edge, chop down that hand, and come up with a key pressure.
Barkley forced that one. Robert Kelly is back in the game. So Kelly went out with a knee injury, and like Howard, returned after being shaken up, the top running backs for each team, and he gets about 4 yards on first down. So Robert Kelly, coming off his worst rushing game since becoming a starter, has responded today, has 66 yards on 15 carries. It'll be 2nd and 6. Cousins going deep for Deshaun Jackson, and out of bounds. And covered well all the way by DeAndre Hall, the rookie from Northern Iowa. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Redskins. So Cousins, who played his college ball in the Big Ten at Michigan State, remained a Bear fan after his family moved from Illinois to Michigan at age 13.
Hey, split! Ringo, 3-8, Ringo!
3rd down and 6. Just short of midfield. Good protection. And Cousins is going to run it. And he's going to get the first down. And trying to knock the ball away was Cornelius Washington, trying to force a fumble, which he couldn't. And it'll be an 8-yard gain, first down, Redskins.
Once again, nice coverage on the back end by the defensive backs of the Chicago Bears, but sure enough, Kirk Cousins has the protection up front, sees that with the inside move by Akeem Hicks, that there is some space to work. All of a sudden takes it downhill and knows how to get to the first down.
Boy, Sheriff doing a tremendous job up front, holding the fort. Chris Thompson now is the tailback. Play fake to him, and Cousins' pass thrown out of bounds, intended for Garcon.
I understand that they're trying to be aggressive, but on first down, they've had success running the football and gaining 2 to 3 to 4 yards so that they cannot be into 3rd and longs where they've had issues this entire season with.
Second down and 10. Redskins on the Bears 43, leading by 10. Game they need to win. Here is Thompson, and there is Chris Thompson going out of bounds. Short of the first down, but not by much. Redskins need to win today, put themselves in this position after controlling their destiny. If they had beaten Carolina on Monday night, they'd be sitting pretty, still in the 6th wild card spot, but they didn't, so they need a loss by either Green Bay or Tampa Bay, and they need to win 2. They need a Packer or Buccaneer loss, one
Number 79
from each team.
Is an eligible receiver.
It'll be 3rd down and 1. Ty and Secchi, extra offensive lineman, eligible.
Face! Zahad! 180! What's up?
3rd and 1, and it'll be Kelly. And the second effort. See if he's got it. He was stopped, I think, cold on the first try. And the Redskins indicating it is a first down. And we're going to have a measurement here.
See where they spot this.
Nick Kwiatkowski, the rookie from West Virginia, right in the middle, number 44.
Please reset the game clock to 7:15. 7:15 on the game clock.
Just running an inside dive. You see him little jump cut to get to the outside where the hold opens up. Kwiatkowski tries to wrap him up and tackle him, but you see the leg drive continuing to push forward.
And they make it by half the length of a football, but it is a first down for the Redskins with 7:15 remaining in the third quarter. John Fox's Bears in every game, not able to finish. They fight back, but fall short. 3-11, trailing by 10 here, and now the Redskins will have a first down on the 33 of Chicago. Mac Brown in the game for the first time as a running back. Cousins looking around, finds Garcon, and missed tackle there. An arm tackle try and an extra couple of yards. Sam Acho couldn't make the play first on Garcon, and he ends up getting 7.
We talked about it, and you talked about it after we had the discussion with Vic Fangio about not having the missed tackles. Here we are in week 16. We know that you don't have enough individual time in practice, but this is your job to get them down.
Cousins goes underneath to Mac Brown, and Freeman is right there. Let's check in with Christina.
Dick, more injury news. Cornerback for the Bears, Tracy Porter, questionable with a shoulder injury. And for the Redskins, their corner, Bashad Breeland's questionable with an ankle injury. Injuries mounting up for both of these teams.
Thank you very much, Christina. So the secondaries, which have been injury decimated for both teams, continue to be so. Loss of 2 on the last play brings up third down and 5. Cousins trying to get away and gets hit as he throws, and it's caught by Vernon Davis. And Davis will give the Redskins a first down. A flag is down as well as Davis catches it on the 15. Looks like Deshaun Jackson is hurt.
And that play, that is Kirk Cousins showing his toughness. He knows that he's going to get smashed and hit hard, and he still stands in there and delivers an accurate football for the first.
Prior to the pass, illegal use of the hands to the face, number 32, defense. That penalty will be declined. The result of the play is a first down.
So illegal use of the hands to the face by Hall is declined, and the 13-yard pass to Vernon Davis with his first catch of the game. But a big performer, Deshaun Jackson, on the ground. That's Deshaun Jackson, who has a career-high third consecutive 100-yard game, but injured and taken out. Robert Kelly comes back in at the tailback spot. It'll be a first down on the 15 after the catch by Davis, and Kelly picks up a couple of yards.
Let's go back to that pass. Here's Kirk Cousins. Steps up into the pocket, feels a little bit of the pressure coming to the outside. Here's the hit. He knows it's coming, delivers it accurately, and here is an 11-year vet versus rookie. Vernon Davis making a nice move up against Nick Kwiatkowski and is able to break free and get the first down.
Davis has had a solid year. Coming over from the 49ers, longtime veteran. Second down and 8 now for Cousins and the Redskins. And here's Kelly. Kelly dives forward to within a couple of yards of another first down before Pernell McPhee makes the play. McPhee coming back after he was shaken up earlier.
The Redskins offensive line are doing a nice job on their combination blocks, not only getting the defensive tackles on one leg, but they're getting up to the second level and sealing the linebackers.
Look how great Cousins has been on third down today through the air. Third down and 2 here. And he's going to give it to Kelly. And Kelly is not going to make it. He'll be stopped. And it takes more than a village to make him stop. And a flag goes down. Last penalty was against the Bears. It was declined.
Illegal use of the hands. Hands to the face. Number 32. Defense. Half the distance to the goal.
That's the second time in this series that DeAndre Hall has been called for illegal hands to the face. The first time it was declined because the Redskins had the first down. And this one really hurts too. This one hurts more.
There it is. Hands to the face. The rule used to be if you get the hand in the face and pull it off, then you're okay if it didn't stick. But now anytime it touches the face mask, the helmet, they're going to throw the flag.
So this drive approaching 6 minutes. It'll be a first and goal at the 3 for the Redskins, leading by 10. Under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And they give it to Kelly. Kelly with that drive close to the goal line and doesn't get over. But it'll be second and goal. Kelly has carried the ball 18 times already in this game.
Number 79.
A far cry.
Here comes the goal line package and jumbo, tying Secchi in again.
From his 9 attempts. Who do you think gets it here? They got Mac Brown and Robert Kelly in there. Tight formation, as you mentioned, and Secchi, an extra offensive lineman to block. And quarterback sneak by Cousins. No signal yet. Touchdown now. Cousins goes over for the score. So the Redskins get the touchdown to raise their lead, and the Bears continue that uphill climb that's so difficult here.
You just see the center, Spencer Long, cutting everybody low because you see Pernell McPhee trying to jump over the top. But when he cuts out the pile, that's what allows that opening for Kirk Cousins just to continue to push through. You see Sean Laval, the left guard, continuing to press as well.
So Cousins, and here it is again. His second touchdown of the game as a runner. So Chris Thompson has 2 touchdowns and Kirk Cousins has 2. And they're going to review again. It'll be a 55-yard drive, 6.5 minutes if it counts. We'll be back.
This game is sponsored by the all-new 2017 Ford Super Duty. This is the next level.
And they're reviewing to see whether the ball crossed the plane. Here is the referee, Brett Allen.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
So it is a touchdown. So 2 rushing touchdowns today for Kirk Cousins. He's never done that before. And 2 for Chris Thompson, 1 as a receiver.
I mean, we looked at every single angle possible, but you really can't see where the football is. And because there's no clear evidence to reverse the call, they stuck with it.
Dustin Hopkins adding the point after, and it is now 31-14, the Redskins. So they have scored 10 of their points off of 2 Chicago turnovers. Well, the former Spartan, Kirk Cousins, leading the Redskins. 3rd time he's played here in Chicago, and the Redskins leading now 31-14 with 3:05 remaining in the third quarter. The Redskins needing a victory. They need one next week against the Giants as well, and hope that Tampa Bay and Green Bay lose at least one. Deontay Thompson back deep for the Bears. And is picked up by the short returner, and that's Addison, who was just added to the roster, and he is down shy of the 30th. Well, not only is it a homecoming for Mr. Cousins, but for my partner on this holiday weekend, homecoming for David Deal. Grew up on the south side of Chicago and attended Brother Rice. Look at him, about 15 miles away from Soldier Field. He went to college in-state at the University of Illinois. He's a member of the Chicagoland Hall of Fame, and he has come home. Come home. Get down there, you 6'7" giant, and you are a giant.
I don't know where you got those pictures from, but I'm going to kill whoever gave them to you.
Well, we're not going to. Now for sure we won't tell you. We don't want any of that. Matt Barkley on first down. Deflection, and Breeland with the interception. Bashaud Breeland with his second interception of the game off a deflection. And the Redskins threatening in Bear territory yet again.
Ruling on the field is an interception. First down, Washington.
see Matt Barkley trying to rip it inside. A nice little quick slant by Alshon Jeffrey. There it is to the outside. Cameron Meredith's running the same exact thing. Throws it inside too much. Doesn't let the receiver get to it. Ball tipped. Something that DBs work on all the time. Tip drill. Able to come up with a key interception.
So Breland with his second interception. Josh Norman pick up his second. Coming into this game, Redskins had 8 picks on the year by 8 different defenders. But that's all changed with Norman and Breland each picking up their second. And it'll be a first down at the 28 of the Bears. And here's Mac Brown. Nothing doing. We're not done with you there, David, because as we go to Brother Rice High School in Chicago, let's look into the trophy case. And there he is, the number 66. And, of course, Seasons of Glory, 2 Super Bowl champions. Some other famous alumni from Brother Rice as well. Ed Olczyk, NHL Hall of Famer, and Pete McCannon, the current manager of the Phillies. And the list goes on and on.
Couldn't be happier to be back here for the holidays.
Second down and 12. And the pass thrown underneath to Grant. And the ball at the 21-yard line. I know that my good friend Ernie Accorsi drafted you with the New York Giants as a guard, and you ended up being a great tackle with this team, leading them to 2 Super Bowls.
That was one of the things that Harry Heastan, my offensive line coach at the University of Illinois, was able to coach me. I played every position but center at Illinois, and it definitely paid off because I did the same thing in 164 starts in the NFL.
Now it's third down and 4. Bears looking for a stop here. Trying to hold the Redskins to a field goal try if they can. But here is Cousins completing the pass to Crowder. And Crowder looks like he'll have a first down. Covered by Tracy Porter, who was shaken up and then came back in. And he is stopped short. They look at it, and it'll be fourth down. And they're going to go for it on fourth down and what looks to be less than a yard. Robert Kelly will come back in.
Number 79 is an Ellsworth receiver.
And once again, Ty Nseki, extra offensive lineman. So it's fourth and less than 1. In the final minute of this third quarter. They've had good success on fourth down conversions. Pressure on Cousins. Pass is incomplete. Vernon Davis was in the end zone and couldn't make the grab. But good pressure put on by the Bears on Cousins. And the Bears will take over on downs.
See Vernon Davis here. He's going to sneak down like he's going to block on a down block. You see the defensive ends. Everybody crash down inside. Nobody touches and accounts for him until late. Tracy Porter trying to get out there. But just that close. Almost there for a touchdown.
Nick Kwiatkowski broke through and very nearly got to Cousins before he unleashed the ball. So with 58 seconds to go in the third, close is what Vernon Davis is saying. Kwiatkowski with a terrific defensive play, and now the Bears taking over on downs on their own 18. Hand off to Howard. He's got a first down as he brings it out to the 30-yard line.
A little delayed draw there, setting up everything. Josh Sinton and the center really getting things going, and that's something that people really don't talk about. Cody Whitehair has had a great season at center as a rookie.
Again, they go to Howard. Again, he breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. And Jordan Howard, who's having a marvelous year, breaks a couple of strong runs here.
Well, he just got payback on that one. Dante Whitner is the one who hit him earlier and had him come out of the game, but he finished and ran over Whitner on that play.
86 yards on the day for Jordan Howard, averaging more than 6.5 yards. Barkley stepping up, and this pass thrown behind Howard, the running back, out of the backfield. And that time it was Ryan Kerrigan. We haven't mentioned his name today. Put pressure on the leading sack maker for the Redskins. 4 seconds left.
And that was exactly what I was going to say, that you have to give credit to Bobby Massey, the right tackle, because that is the first time that Ryan Kerrigan, the Pro Bowler with 11 sacks, has had any pressure or we've called his name in this football game.
2nd and 10. Bears on their 46. Barkley completes it. It's a first down. And Deontay Thompson with a first down as the third quarter runs out. A gain of 14. And that is the end of the third quarter. Barkley and Thompson teaming up. But the Redskins lead the Bears 31-14. Along with David Deal and Christina Pink, Dick Stockton with you at Soldier Field in Chicago. Start of the fourth quarter. Redskins leading the Bears 31-14. And a first down for the Bears on the Redskin 41. Matt Barkley pumps once, goes deep, and nearly intercepted. It was intended for Thompson, but Greg Toller had to turn around to make that pick. So incomplete, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
See the inside move and then breaking it off. Ball's thrown clearly outside to where Deontay Thompson can't even go up and put a hand on it.
Second and 10. Barkley. And it's right into the hands of Will Blackman. Blackman on the return, still on his feet. And Blackman down the sideline. And Blackman finally gets tripped up inside the 10-yard line by Jordan Howard, the running back. As Barkley had an open receiver, threw it over his head. Alshon Jeffrey was there, went way over his head, and Will Blackman intercepted it and ran it back 79 yards, 1st and goal.
I was talking earlier about the matchup. Charles Leno Jr., the left tackle, again giving up that pressure. Barkley stepping up, trying to deliver it to the outside, overthrows it, but Will Blackman, one of my former teammates in New York, Boston College guy, returned punts, returned kickoffs, and you saw it show up right there on that interception.
That's the 4th interception thrown by Matt Barkley. He had 4 turnovers last week, 3 picks, and a lost fumble. And they're going to check to see where Blackman went out of bounds. It is scampered to the end zone. I haven't seen it yet.
Nor have I.
And Howard trips him up right there. I think it's just inside the 10.
That's pure heart right there by Jordan Howard, saving a touchdown.
Yep. So it's 1st and goal at the 9 for the Redskins. In the first minute of this fourth quarter, 4 Bears turnovers. You can't win that way. Hand off to Mac Brown, who claws his way down to the 5.
Give me that play, please.
4-yard pickup by Brown.
Well, they got Pernell McPhee the first time. Now Kirk Cousins is going to pay the price on this one. He hands it off, but wait till you see the hit that he takes on this one.
A hard hit, but a legal hit.
Absolutely.
Brings up 2nd and goal from the 5.
We'll have to go, Sean. What's that?
They give it to Brown. And Mac Brown takes it down to the 2-yard line or so. Redskins at 7-6-1. And with that tie against Cincinnati and London, will not be involved in any tiebreaker unless there are other teams that come up with tie games. And they need to win today, and they're leading and threatening for more. And hope other teams like Tampa Bay and Green Bay lose. Here's Cousins being pushed back under pressure. And that time it was McPhee, Pernell McPhee, on the hit. A flag down at the 13. Penalty flag thrown. And
holding. Offense number 32. That penalty is declined. Results 4th down.
So Robert Kelly was holding on the play. First McKee delivers a shot on Cousins and then puts the pressure on and forces him.
He was making sure that if they run zone read again, he is not going to be running for a touchdown.
Trying to add to the 31-14 lead. Dustin Hopkins will attempt a 20-yard field goal. The chip shot is good, if there is such a thing anymore as a chip shot in the NFL for kickers. So taking advantage of another turnover, Redskins score.
It is sponsored by Burger King. Now you can get 2 delicious Whopper meals for just $10 only at Burger King.
Back here in Chicago. Beautiful all the time, and around the season looks even spiffier. 20-point lead for the Redskins. They have scored 13 points off of 4 Bears turnovers. Deontay Thompson. That's returnable from the goal line. Thompson brings it out. And good return by Thompson beyond the 30-yard line. Well, next Sunday, television's most outrageous new comedy is coming to Fox. Caitlin Olsen is their guardian, but she's no angel. The Mick premieres next Sunday after football on Fox. So the Bears will be on the 33, so Matt Barkley has turned it over 8 times the last 2 games.
Hey, line.
So 3 interceptions and 3 second-half possessions for the Bears. This time they give it to Jeremy Langford, who has scored a touchdown, and he picks up a couple of yards for a game break. Kurt Menefee in L.A. Kurt.
Well, Tennessee's still trying to win the AFC South, but this won't help. Down in Jacksonville, Marcus Mariota goes down, injures his ankle on the play so badly, in fact, they had to put it in an air cast. He's carted off. Matt Castle now in the game. They're down 8. Dick?
Tough blow for Tennessee as this pass is caught by Joshua Bellamy. Tennessee clinches the AFC South with wins in their final 2 games, but they're losing to Jacksonville today, and they lose their quarterback. That doesn't bode well, does it? 1st and 10. Langford into Redskin territory. You know, we talk about the 4 turnovers by Washington today. The Bears have not been able to take away things. They only have 10 takeaways, tied with Jacksonville coming in worst in the league. They've won the turnover battle only 3 times this year. And if you don't take it away, you don't get a chance. Injured player is Dante Whitner. We'll be right back. Dante Whitner on the sideline. Shaken up. Jordan Howard has come back in. He has 91 yards rushing today. 2nd down and 5 going out as a receiver for Matt Barkley, who goes underneath and completes the pass and a 1st down to tight end Daniel Brown, a converted wide receiver. And the hurry up goes on. Gain of 8 yards. Barkley saying, what is it? Still early in this 4th quarter. Bears were down by 17 going into the 4th today, as they were a week ago against the Redskins, against the Packers, that is. Came back and tied that game before dropping it. So a 1st down at the 37. Barkley. And it's incomplete. Brown, the intended receiver, and Mason Foster defending. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. And like Brown and Michael Pruitt, who played at Southern Illinois, who was picked up off the Vikings. Brown, the former Ravens, they're young tight ends on the upside. The Bears think they have promised because they lost Zach Miller, their veteran, on IR. Jeffrey in motion to the left on 2nd down and 10 for Barkley. Lost this one out of bounds. Meredith was the closest to it.
It will be interesting to see how the Bears handle the quarterback situation after this football season. Obviously, Matt Barkley, the 3rd quarterback in. Hoyer was a starting quarterback. There's Jay Cutler.
Well, they could have the 4th pick in the draft, so you've got to measure that up with who may be available. Any free agent signings, there could be a few of those. So you're right, a lot of decisions coming up for Ryan Pace and the Bear hierarchy. This pass caught by Meredith and pushed out of bounds by Kendall Fuller. And the Bears picking up 13 and a 1st down for Chicago. Meredith, one to watch if he has both his shoes on. He has 6 catches for 107 yards, so he's going over the 100 mark.
And once again, we saw a nice throw out of Matt Barkley, but it's all about consistency and judgment. If you continue to make plays and throw costly interceptions for your team, you're not going to be the starting quarterback.
And there's Barkley off his back foot, and another interception. Josh Norman down the sideline, one-handing it. And finally put down. Preston Smith put the pressure on Matt Barkley. So another interception. 5 thrown by Barkley today.
1st down, Washington.
We just talked about consistency. The play before throws a very nice one. This one he tries throwing off his back foot. Nowhere near where Alshon Jeffrey can go up and catch that football, and right to where Josh Norman is.
2nd interception on the day for Norman. Well, the Redskin secondary is having a field day today, and a lot of that is because of the pressure put on Matt Barkley. So the Redskins take over on the 35. 1st down. So Jay Cutler threw it 5 interceptions in November of whatever year that was. And here's the handoff to Matt Brown, and he'll have the 1st down. Flag is down back on the 35.
Offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Brandon Sheriff, the Pro Bowl right guard.
4 Pro Bowlers on the Redskins, the most they've had since 2012. And on the other side of the coin, the Bears without a Pro Bowl player on the initial roster for the 2nd straight year. Maurice Harris in the game as a wide receiver, wide to the right. It'll be a 1st down on the 25, 1st and 20 on the 25. And they hand off to Brown. Let's get a report from Christina Pink.
Well, Dick, one of those Pro Bowlers is linebacker Ryan Kerrigan. You know, we've seen what Washington's offense can do this year, but Kerrigan told us coming into this game, our offense is awesome. They've won games for us this year, but we need a game where our defense makes a stand, and the defense certainly has stepped up today with those 5 interceptions and so far holding the Chicago Bears to just 14 points.
That's a great point. A lot of times the defense is, I wish our offense would do something, right?
Yeah, well, you think about this year, the Denver Broncos
right.
is a clear case of that. The defense is top in the NFL, and their offense is in the bottom.
2nd down and 15. Cousins making the catches. Grant, and he'll have a 1st down to the 46-yard line. So Kirk Cousins, who had an off game without question, and a lot of that, as you mentioned earlier, no running game.
Yep.
He was he had no chance. They were blitzing him. He had to get rid of the ball in a hurry. Did not have a sharp game, but has had a good year, and he's proving it again today. This Redskin team has really come back from that nightmarish Monday night at home against the Panthers. Here's Grant. And he'll end up with maybe a yard, that's all, as the clock runs to 8 minutes.
He said it, bounce back day for Kirk Cousins, spreading the football around. 8 different receivers caught the football today. And you just saw that he had a clear control of this game plan and didn't force anything. And what did he do? He was able to use his legs as well to score this touchdown on the zone read and to plow through on the quarterback sneak in the goal line.
He scored 2 touchdowns, as you say, and the Redskins rushing for 137 yards in this game. Meanwhile, Deshaun Jackson, remember he went out with an injury. He's back in there, lining up to the top of your picture on 2nd down and 9.
Ready? What's up?
Mac Brown. And Brown is tackled on the Bears side of midfield. And for an update, game break, call it what you will. Kurt Menefee in L.A.
All right, well, you can call this an easy touchdown run for Tevin Campbell. With a win today over Carolina and a loss by the Bucs later on, Atlanta will wrap up the NFC South. Coleman's 55-yard run makes it 30-13 in the 4th quarter. Dick?
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. So there is the NFC South. And New Orleans still in playoff contention. Carolina at 6-9 will be eliminated. 3rd down and 5. Tampa Bay and New Orleans coming up later in America's Game of the Week. An incomplete pass.
Imagine that, the NFC South Open.
Boy, the way it's always been. Remember?
It sure has been.
Well, Carolina lately has dominated that division, but there have been years when it was a total musical chair act. 4th down coming up, and Tress Way will come in and kick. And Bryce Callahan back to receive the punt. This is only the 2nd punt of the day for Tress Way of Washington. And it'll go out of bounds inside the 15. So Cousins, 18 for 29, 270 yards, 1 touchdown, no mistakes. We'll underscore that.
Game is sponsored by Samsung Pay. Turn your phone into your wallet.
We have 6:26 remaining in the game, and the Redskins with 5 interceptions, the first time since late November in 1992 against the Phoenix Cardinals. They've scored 13 points off of those 5 interceptions. Handoff to Howard, and Howard picks up a couple of yards. And if you look at the second half possessions for the Bears, who had the opening kickoff go their way in the second half, Barkley has thrown 4 interceptions in the 4 Chicago possessions.
And you thought that they would have life, scoring a touchdown, not settling for a field goal right before the half. And, you know, obviously you've seen it today. When you turn over the football the way that he has at the quarterback position and making poor decisions, you are not going to win this football game.
2nd down and 9. And here's Howard. And Howard knocking on the door of 100 yards, averaging over 6 yards per carry. Coming into the game, averaging over 5 yards per carry. The first Bear running back, who was the primary running back since Walter Payton back in 1977, to be averaging as many as 5 yards per rush.
You talk about working hard and sticking to it and having determination. Like we said, he was the 3rd string running back coming in this season. Langford gets hurt, and sure enough, he fills in and never looks back.
3rd down and 1. And Howard will get the first down inside the 25. Playoff picture, the Cowboys have clinched home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Seattle has also won the NFC West. Atlanta on its way to success in the South. And the Lions still in a dogfight with the Green Bay Packers, who are leading 38-19 over Minnesota. The Lions and the Packers play Monday, or the Lions and the Cowboys, I would say, play Monday night. Here's Howard with the pitch. And getting the first down, staying inbounds, and getting a lot more. Pretty run by Jordan Howard. And with 100 yards today, has the 6th 100-yard rushing game of the year. And the first Bears rookie to have 6 100-yard rushing games in a year.
We talk about the future of this organization. This is somebody that you build it around at the running back position.
117 yards and gets a well-deserved breather, averaging nearly 7 yards a carry as Langford comes in for Barkley. And Barkley completes to Ben Braunecker, the undrafted tight end from Harvard, picks up 7 yards. And another injury, and Greg Toller slow getting up. And it seems like it's been mostly defensive backs for both teams, David, that have been hurt.
At this point, it's cold. You're running. You get hit. It has been mostly the defensive backs that have been the ones going down. And for both of these teams, they've all had significant injuries at that position throughout this entire season. Because if you think about the Chicago Bears on their back end, they have 8 unrestricted free agents that are in that position.
Yeah, they have something you can build on. And you talk about, what are you're going to start changing everything again. And I think sometimes continuity is there. Unless you really have bad players on your team and you think you have bad coaches, I think what you do is you work with it. Because when you keep changing, it's just going to take that much longer.
No question. And you look at the defensive side of the ball, they're in the top 10 coming into this football game, still fighting, still being able to come up with sacks and key plays. But when you're out on the field, as long as they have been today, because of the inability of the offense to gain any rhythm and throwing the football into interceptions, that's what causes you into this season like they have been.
Yeah, not pleasant to be 3-12, which is what the Bears are going to be. But if you have a plan, and I know people can be impatient, and it's been a while for the Bears franchise without question. You got to hang in there. And the pass caught by Cameron Meredith. He's got a first down to the 42, and time for a game break. Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Nick. Well, after your guys' game, Jameis Winston and the Buccaneers in New Orleans, and even if the Falcons win, the Bucs still alive in the South. This is the second meeting for these two teams in just 13 days. It's Breeze versus Winston coming up next.
All right, Carissa, thank you very much. And, of course, New Orleans could be eliminated with a loss. Tampa Bay trying to stay alive, and here's the pass to Howard. Breaks a tackle and very nearly gets a first down, but Deshaun Phillips is there. 9-yard pickup. Again, here is the NFC South. Atlanta leading Carolina and going away with the win there. That would make them 10-5 on the season. Second down and 1. Here's Howard with the first down to the 31-yard line as we have under 3 minutes remaining in the game. Meanwhile, the Redskins needing 2 wins, getting one of them done, and they close against the New York Giants, team they've already beaten this year at home. And they've got to hope that the Packers lose one and the Bucs lose one. Packers are up 38-19 with 4 minutes to go in their game at Lambeau Field. Toller, who was shaken up okay, back in there. Meredith has had a great game too. You look at some of these players, even the ones on offense, especially where the team is lacking a bit, and they've got some people to build with.
They do, and Cameron Meredith is a local product, an Illinois State Redbird. And you talked about Pace bringing in not only draft picks, but free agents that can come in, earn positions on the field, and he is one of them.
But you know what? The QB. Look at your club before you got Eli Manning. Eli Manning was the last piece of the puzzle. 2-minute warning here at Soldier Field in Chicago. And it's been all Redskins in a big comeback game for them. Back here at Soldier Field in Chicago on Christmas Eve, and 2 minutes remain in the final home game of the year for the Bears, trailing 34-14. They have a first down on the Redskins 17. Matt Barkley and completes the pass to Alshon Jeffrey, and it'll be first and goal inside the 5. We have bonus coverage, time permitting, coming up as the Packers with under 3.5 to play in their game in Lambeau Field, leading the Vikings 38-19. Redskins needing wins in their final 2 games. They have one here packed away, and they need a loss for Tampa Bay and Green Bay in the process. Here is Barkley on the run, completes the pass for the touchdown to Deontay Thompson. Second touchdown throw of the day for Barkley, who unfortunately for him has also thrown 5 interceptions.
Marching down the field, obviously it doesn't affect the winning or losing of this football game, but it does show that this coaching staff and this team did not give up, and they were continuing to push forward. This wasn't just throwing the football, they were running the football, and they wanted to finish this game at home and in front of this home crowd for the last time. Unfortunately not with the win, but the right way.
Connor Barth. And the extra point is good, 34-21. You don't see many games, and a flag is down, where there are 5 turnovers to none, and you're only down by 13. And now Brad Allen going over to John Fox. We'll get the word.
There are 2 fouls on the defense on the play. Offside, defense number 24. That penalty is refused. There was also unsportsmanlike conduct, leverage, number 79 of the defense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed. Point after is good.
So Ty and Secchi, leverage, and they'll mark it on the kickoff. Coming up next, it's game 2 of our Fox NFL doubleheader. Jameis Winston and the Bucs look to keep pace in the NFC South when they take on Drew Brees and the Saints. Others will see the Cardinals and Seahawks or the 49ers and Rams. It's coming up next right here on Fox.
Here's a replay of the touchdown. You see Deontay Thompson come over on the motion. You see the inside slant outside by Alshon Jeffrey. They can't communicate. Sure enough, Josh Norman trying to cover 2 people. He can't do it, and that's where they get the touchdown.
A 3-yard play to Thompson. So it's 34-21. Redskins led 14-0 after the first quarter. Chris Thompson had a touchdown rushing and receiving. Up the lead to 17-0. Bears fought back. They were down 24-14 going into the last quarter. But Cousins with a touchdown run and the field goal gives us the margin we have right now. But when you look at 5 turnovers committed by John Fox's Bears, and the Redskins not making a mistake. There's the onside kick, and it's Redskins will have it as it goes the 10 yards. Ryan Grant retrieves it with 1:20 to go. Again, bonus coverage, time permitting, in the Green Bay, Minnesota game, as the Packers and the Lions
number
still fighting for
is an eligible receiver.
The division race in the NFC North. So Cousins going the distance at quarterback. Your opinion about people who say when teams have wrapped up the division or have the home field advantage, what have you, is the first play is a running play to Mac Brown, that they ought to rest these people and not play them so they don't get hurt?
I don't agree with that. I don't think it works out well because you don't continue to have the momentum as a team, because in 2007 we won as a wild card team, and the fact that we built that confidence at the end of the season, we're able to use that throughout the postseason until the Super Bowl. And then in 2011 we ended up winning the last game at home against the Dallas Cowboys to win the division and then have the first round bye and then a home game. So for me, I'm a person that thinks that you need to play your players. You need to push forward and continue to build that confidence, because in 2011, when we went to Green Bay to play in the playoffs, they rested their players at the end of the season. They had the bye week, and they came out flat, and we were able to pound the football and take advantage of it.
Well, the Colts, I remember they did it. A lot of teams, they lose their edge. All of a sudden, it's hard to get it back. 2nd down and 8 after the timeout by the Bears. And Mac Brown on the carry. Deshaun Jackson with his 3rd consecutive 100-yard game. 5 catches, 114 yards today. Meredith with 8 receptions, 126 yards for the Bears. And Jordan Howard, the promising rookie running back, with 119 yards rushing today for Chicago. And the Bears now with 1 timeout remaining. And we have 1 minute and 8 remaining. Here's Brown. Mac Brown. And Brown in a foot race. 3 Bears are chasing him. And they're not going to get him. No. Touchdown, Mac Brown. To add the exclamation point to a tremendous comeback game by the Redskins on both sides of the ball. 61-yard run by Mac Brown. With 57 seconds left, and you can see the reaction by Jarrell Freeman. There's pride out there, and that's not a cliche.
There is pride out there, and you see this ball gets bounced outside. You see Carrier having the block outside on Willie Young. You're just wondering if he should have went down inbounds and ended this football game. Obviously he's getting his opportunity. He wants to put a touchdown up.
First career touchdown for Mac Brown. So, and the extra point is good. And it's 41-21. Well, I'll tell you what, the Redskins, played their worst offensive game, 15 points. And, of course, I know the defense set up a lot of their points in this game, and this is the most they've scored in the season. But coming back on the road against a team that you know is going to play hard, it was not a foregone conclusion for Washington.
No, it wasn't. But what did they do? They established a running football game. They were able to control the time of possession, make sure that Kirk Cousins settled down. And he did an unbelievable job today, not only throwing the football well, not having any turnovers, but he put this offense in positions to be successful. And what had happened? The defensive side of the ball being able to come away with the takeaways, and the offense taking advantage of it.
So Jay Gruden, of course, all he says is we got to just go play the next game. I know when it's all over, when the season is long over, when you're into, March, April, be looking at the game last week against the Panthers at home, and also the game in London when they had a chance with a field goal to beat the Cincinnati Bengals.
And this is the 11th time this season out of 15 games that the Redskins have scored over 20 points.
Well, they know about their offense, and today their defense got 5 interceptions, and we know Matt Barkley, only his 5th career start in this game. And it's going to be interesting in how they work with him, what goes on, and as far as the quarterback story for the Chicago Bears. That has to be priority number 1, don't you think?
I believe it will be.
And the Bears will take it out at the 25-yard line. Bears are going to drop to 3-12.
When we talked to Jay Gruden, he said the magic number was 20. Look at 20-plus attempts in 10 games. They were 8-1-1. That's adding today with 35 attempts. In the games that they had less than 20 attempts, like they did on Monday Night Football, 0-5.
They were 6-3-1 at one point. They had really routed Green Bay. People were writing off the Packers, and Packers have turned it around, leading 38-25 with 32 seconds left in that game. Deflection that time by Lyndon Trail, who was activated yesterday by the Redskins. There's Trail. Came up from the practice squad. He's only 6'7", 270. Huh?
Only. That's after they put Nick Moody and Houston Bates on injured reserve.
This is his first NFL game. Played at Norfolk State. 2nd and 10, Barkley. And forward progress. Let's see where they mark that. Close to the first down to Cameron Meredith. Barkley a yard away from 300 yards. But those 5 interceptions and the 4 turnovers last week. Not good. Gets over the 300 mark as he completes to Ben Braunecker. And that should do it. As the Washington Redskins are still alive. That is the headline of this game. Time running out. Do they get another playoff? Yes. Barring a penalty, the final play of the game. And that'll do it. The pass to Jeremy Langford, and that is it. The Washington Redskins stay alive, go 8-6-1.